everyone, it's NEONshe here and welcome to my Q&A for my brand new single, Neon. So I have some questions here and I'm just gonna answer them the best that I can and hopefully give you guys some insight into the song and the process and anything else that you might like to know. So let's get into it. What inspired you to write Neon? If you've already heard the song, you might realise that the song is about my experience with bullying as a child and how I turned the situation around for myself and decided to pursue my dreams. That was what inspired it, being on the other side of that really difficult situation. I wanted to write a song that people could easily sing to, that had lots of great hooks, but also had a really inspiring and relatable meaning. I think a lot of people who follow my music have gone through the same things that I have gone through regarding feeling different and not really fitting in, maybe struggling with finding their crowd and having to go through a healing journey. And so I wanted to create a kind of anthem for those people and just be like, you know, you can shine bright, you can be neon. And so I hope that my song is relatable and inspires others. I hope that it is a kind of safe space for anyone who has gone through bullying as a child or as an adult or just any time through their life. I hope that Neon can be a neon shining light for anyone who needs it. How would you describe the vibe or message of Neon in a few words? I would say resilience, transformation, fun, and dancey. What are some of your favorite musical influences for this single? I love Owl City. I have loved his music since I first heard, I think it was Hot Air Balloon or Vanilla Twilight at the age of like 11 or 12. And his music really pulled me out of such a dark place in my life when I was really going through it. And I found that his lyrics were so like ethereal and the music itself was just so beautiful. Like I loved listening to all the electronic elements and knowing that he created his music from a dark place to make something so bright and colourful and happy. Like I have always been inspired by that message. I don't think he pushes that too much, but I've always felt inspired by that. And I grew up doing musical theatre and went into production and electronic music because of Owl City, really. And through that I learned a lot of other very cool electronic artists. But I think if it wasn't for Owl City, I probably wouldn't be so intensely obsessed with electronic music. And I feel like because of that, my music has been heavily influenced by what I love to listen to. And so I create songs that I would love to listen to. Whenever I'm making new music, I always think like, what would be my favorite song? And it's usually the ones that have like cute little square synths and Moog-like basses and just something fun and upbeat. And I'm really into like 80s or like synth pop drums at the moment. I think they're really fun, and you'll find that a lot in the upcoming album, that I have taken a lot of inspiration from like 80s drum patterns, and same for synth pop drum patterns, and those kinds of big snare drums and really thumping kick drums and like twiddly little hi-hats. I really enjoy that. So I would say for Neon and for the rest of the album, that's kind of what's inspired me musically. But I would say, you know, I'm at a point in my career where I have experimented a lot with a lot of different sounds and a lot of different genres and styles, and what I'm doing now is making me the happiest because it's just what I love to listen to anyway. So yeah, I think that answers that question. What was the most challenging part of creating Neon? So for me, this might not be the answer you guys were expecting, but I was really sick like a couple of days before I had to go into vocal recording, because I was given the most beautiful bunch of flowers by my darling husband, who was in Japan at the time. We were apart for our 1 year anniversary, our 1 year wedding anniversary, due to visa problems and whatnot, and you can read about that in the book if you want to. But basically that was a really stressful time. He bought me these amazing flowers. They were just every colour of the rainbow. They were just huge and beautiful and such a thoughtful gesture. And so I wanted to look at them every morning and every night as I went to bed and got up, and I ended up getting really bad hay fever, and my sinuses were completely blocked and my throat was like really scratchy. So I was literally like there with a bowl of eucalyptus water, like hot eucalyptus water, with a towel over my head, and drinking all these herbal teas, trying to just get myself back in check. So on some of the parts of the song and some of the album, you might hear when I've got a bit of a blocked nose like this, and I'm and in between takes I was just like trying to sort myself out. And also dealing with moving country as well, I was like selling up all of my gear, so I was relying on friends to be able to listen to my music through speakers. Thank you so much, Anna, aka Norrisette, who actually also gave me this beautiful dress. She let me listen to my album. I spent like a whole day, like literally 10 hours at her house just listening on her speakers to the final mixes. And so things like that were challenging, and I had to rely on other people, and it was a bit chaotic while I was also, you know, going to therapy and healing my own mental health. It was, you know, my outer world and my inner world were chaos while I was creating Neon and the rest of the album. But ultimately, I think you can hear it in the album. You can hear what I was going through at the time, and I'm really proud that I got through it. I'm really glad that my life is the way that it is now. So, you know, ultimately we have a happy ending, but there were definitely challenges creating this album, and I would say this was probably the most challenging body of work to make because of the external factors going on in my life. Can you share any details about the creative process behind the song? Let me think. How did I make the song? I wrote the chorus first, and this happens a lot where I'll just come up with like a hook or something that I find really catchy, and I'll put it into my phone, or I'll put it onto my laptop and make like a quick demo. And I think with Neon I made a quick demo, and I had like the neon, oh oh, neon, oh, neon, neon, neon. And I thought like that is so fun, because obviously my name is NEONshe, and I could just imagine being on stage and teaching it to the audience, and they sing it back to me, and we're all just singing Neon together. And I just thought it was a really cool concept that I could envision it already, how that would translate to being on stage. The piano, everything came together quite naturally. The piano parts and the bass line. I really love the bass line in this song. It's got like a or something very similar to that, and I just thought that's really like, it feels very like noughties, 90s to noughties pop. It was very kind of old school, and I found myself going back to the music that I loved as a kid. It kind of reminded me of like Aqua, you know, how they're like very hooky, like everything is hooky, every instrument, every part has something. And like ABBA as well, although I don't think that my music is so like ABBA, but in the sense that I wanted everything to be hooky. ABBA is just so good at that. And then after that, everything just kind of came naturally. I knew that I wanted the chorus to be lifting about like, yes, this is where I am now, I am Neon and everything's great. And so it kind of seemed like the natural thing to do, to reflect on my past and go back to a time that wasn't as bright, and just say like, things have turned around now, and look how amazing things have become because of the hard work I've done, and because of me having faith and being resilient. So that was the the creative process. How does Neon differ from your previous work? What sets it apart? I would say Neon is different from my previous work because it's so vulnerable, and I've not been this vulnerable in my career ever. I wanted to come out of the other side and share my story, and now I'm actually able to do that, so it's a really amazing place to be. I would also say what sets it apart is, as you might know, I make all of my music myself. I write it, I mix it, I produce it, I record it. Everything is me. The only thing that I don't do is the mastering, because I have an amazing masterer who is kind enough to help me with that, and he's like one of the best people in my life, and I trust him with all of my music. Thank you, Dave. So from that point of view, I would say that my music is better as a whole, like the mixing and the production, the volume levels make more sense to me. I am learning every time I make something, and I can really feel the improvement from this album compared to my previous album, which I'm still really proud of, but I feel like this album is just mixed so much better. The elements make much more sense, and I've learned a lot more about space within music. Rather than trying to fill up everything with layers, I allow certain things to shine through, and I have removed a lot of things that I felt were unnecessary. So for me, this has been a really great learning experience as well. How does Neon differ from your... Oh, we've just done that one. Okay, this is the last question. What emotions do you hope listeners feel when they hear Neon? I hope that listeners feel hope. I hope that they feel strength. I hope that they feel resilience again. I hope that they feel inspired. I hope that they feel uplifted and happy. Because although the topic is, it's about being bullied, it's all about coming to the other side and being so strong and happy, and it's got a really fun beat, so I hope people will want to dance when they listen to it and will feel like they can do anything and they can come out of these situations that are difficult. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my Q&A all about my song Neon. Please go check out the song, go check out my Get Ready With Me video, go over to my TikTok and Instagram where there are lots of fun videos being put up, and stay tuned for the next single and eventually the album when that comes out. Thank you, bye!